Hello everyone, and peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. I wish you peace. Why do I wish you peace? Why don't I wish you joy or happiness? Because joy is an instant. It's a momentum. It's something that lasts for a moment, but it can be remembered forever. Happiness is something. It depends on yourself. What makes you happy? What you wanna be or have in order to be happy. But peace is something that comes from within, and you have to attain your peace and you have to keep your peace, and that's the hardest but it's the best part. Once you have the peace, you can have happiness and joy and everything else. So I wish you all peace. Energy is all that is, and energy is more than we think it is, and our bodies are not to be disregarded either, but actually Islam itself teaches that we believe in unseen things, and energy is one of those unseen things. Not just energy of that comes from the source, from Allah. Just energy within each individual is very important. And when it comes to twin flame reunion, your energy uh, inside of you before the reunion has to be completely and perfectly balanced. So if you're Muslim and you don't know anything about chakras, and you have a twin flame, then you have to learn. And it's nothing against Islam to know that there's 7 chakras, and actually Quran mentions 7 heavens and seven spheres. And some Muslim teachings, some Sufi teachings, to be correct, say that all these 7 heavens that exist in the universe also, or 7 dimensions, they also exist inside ourselves. And what chakras are basically, from my point of understanding, it's the light centers or the energy centers in your body that are related to certain aspects of life and certain aspects of being, of existence. So study these 7 chakras, and today I'm just gonna get straight to the topic. But before I do, I have to say that in the first video I've ever recorded, I said that I will not record myself. And the reason being that I don't like to do the ego trip, because I see a lot of videos out there that people start with an intention to teach others something or help others or give them some info or instruct them in certain topic, and then it becomes all about them. It becomes um, about their person, not about information they're willing to share. So I decided to make videos with pictures or whatever. But it's kind of hard because my other recording device is like it chops it up, and the last video was not the way I wanted it to be, and it cut short and it had glitches in. So I decided to go this way, and also reason being that ego can go the other way. Ego can also be sometimes ego is boosted and it becomes all about you, me. But on the other hand, ego can be contains low self-esteem. It can be the hurt ego or the vulnerable ego. So that kind of ego would be like, I don't want to ever go in front of the camera. And I am like more like that kind of a person. So lately I've been healing through chakra systems and through people that God sent into my life, and I'm mostly grateful to Allah for that, because nothing happens without His will, without Source sending people in your life and on your path. And these people, interaction with these people has helped my chakra system to rebalance. And right now I'm working on the communication, which this video may help as well, which is the one related to the throat chakra. And as far as I feel and know so far, all of the other chakras are balanced now, mashallah, alhamdulillah. And that's what I wanted to talk to you today. What I wanted to talk to you about is what happened in the past week. video before that, I said I had solar chakra spinning, activated, reactivated, whatever you call it, due to interaction with the soulmate, young man that had feelings for me, feelings that come from respect and uh, desire to know me as a person and to share emotional and spiritual and perhaps some romantic um, feelings included. But solar plexus chakra got activated because I'm an empath, and maybe I didn't properly introduce myself at the beginning of this video, but I could say that I'm a twin flame, indigo twin flame. I'm an indigo child, which means that I have always felt other people's feelings more than what, say, for example, someone can say something to me, and if that doesn't align with what they're feeling, not what they're thinking, I cannot read people's minds, um, but what they're feeling, if it doesn't resonate with what they're saying to me, I can pick up on that very easily. It doesn't have to be, it can be negative or positive. And so it was a gift that I had since childhood, but I didn't consider it a gift. I struggled against it until I realized that everything comes from Allah. Everything comes with us when we are landed into this body at birth. So we have to implement those gifts and help other people and use it for good. As long as whatever gifts you have, as long as you use it for goodness and not for evil, you're safe. You're on the good path. So what happened is the young man that I met some time ago, he finally found me again, contacted me, and as a person who has been um, in a state of purity for 10 years. I started practicing Islam in 2006, and I covered in 2007. That was my decision. I'm a single person, so no influence of another person or anything. As a matter of fact, I sometimes think that my twin flame, although he's a Muslim too, his mother and his family, they do not wear hijab. They do, but not in this way. They do it a little bit more Indian traditional dresses, which still looks like and tells people they're Muslim, but there is some differences, and I'm sometimes afraid that they think that I'm too conservative or too religious. Although sometimes I believe, and I've heard from our contacts and people that our mutual friends, that they actually respect me as a person for being hijabi. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's between me and my creator, and I decided to go that way. And since I covered with a scarf or a veil, I also stopped shaking men's hands. I only hug women. I don't hug men, except that one incident with my soulmate. But his mother was there, and he was really sick. So I don't think it counts as evil against me, because if the person is sick and you're trying to comfort them or help them, and I do have also a lot of healing energy around me to give a healing touch, is not same as some kind of romantic, touchy, feely thing. So, and his mother was present in the room, so I think that would be okay. And we did exchange some energy, which helped me understand better what's going on with him, and release some of that tension that was going on between our solar plexus chakras, which was kind of, on the edge. So I didn't hug men. I didn't even shake hands. I would usually explain either through a joke and say, if you were less handsome or older, I'd probably shake your hand or kiss it, get some change as a child, as children in Islam do. They kiss uncle's hand, and during Eid, and they get candy or or treat or or cash. It's an old tradition in Islam, like uncles or grandfathers or someone. So I'd make a joke, or sometimes I explain to people that if I have time, I give them more information if they are interested to know about Islam. That um, even in England or France, just 50 or 100 years ago, women would dance with men without touching their skin, their hands directly. They would just have a handkerchief, or they would wear gloves. And there's also saying, may I have your hand in marriage, which means giving hand is the most intimate thing. And also, before I wore hijab, I had so many bad experiences with men who would hold my hand too long, just hold on to it and not let go, and it's an awkward situation, especially if he has a girlfriend or a wife or someone. It's really terrible, and sometimes it would be mutual liking and someone wants to hold your hand, but that's also related to dating, and people who date, they hold hands. So I think it's very intimate, and I'd rather not shake hands and not touch any man, or have any physical contact except relatives or father, brother. But that even is kind of not much. In my family, people don't have many, hugs, too many, feelings, touching and stuff. So that wasn't a problem. Okay. And then abstinence is a choice that comes with Islam, which is it's a choice, and it's obligation to keep yourself chaste until you're married. So I believe, but because of the previous relationship that occurred before I started practicing Islam, I believe that I had a traumatic experience, not as you would think, not in the form of abuse, thank God, but in the form of, it's going to be hard to say, younger person, very young person. I had a best friend, and he wanted to get married, and he presented himself as someone who loved me and wanted to be together. And when you trust someone, trust is a serious thing. I think trust is much bigger than love sometimes. And I don't know how love before twin flame can, love with karmic partner is something I explained earlier. It's not really love, but it is something we have to go through to learn our lessons. It's love. In my case, I was in love with an idea, and I had intellectual connection with this person. But long story short, the, as, as the new times have come and people are coming open about things, it turns out that the person that I was involved with was um, a closeted homosexual. So the things didn't work out very well in that department, and I think it was something that kept my sacral chakra pretty much in block, and energetically in block, that keeps the feminine uh, energy from flowing freely. And so I was like hiding my feminine energy, or I didn't. Well, I had it, but it's hard to explain with chakras when something is blocked. If you have your throat chakra blocked, either your communication skills are going too much in that direction, or too much in that. Some people don't even talk properly. They don't know how to express themselves. Sometimes they express themselves better in writing than in communication. Some people have social issues, social interaction issues, and you have to find the moment in the past and clear it and purge through something to get that cleared, to get to the point where the energy through the through the throat chakra is flowing freely. Okay, so when it comes to crown chakra, that one is the most, I think, it has the most divine connection. Everything has divine connection. Everything comes from God, but that one is direct connection with God, with Source. It has relation to the scriptures, to understanding of the scriptures. If you're reading any, if you're not afraid to read scriptures, aside from not liking or liking the organized religion, but just scripture itself, like a Quran or the Bible, and just to gain information, just to gain some knowledge. Understanding of the scripture would come through crown chakra, so you understand dreams, guidance, synchronicities, ability to understand signs, even in the nature, in the birds, in the archetypes. It all comes through that crown chakra. And then we have third eye chakra, which can be completely blocked in some people or completely open in some people. Or in my case, as I was indigo child, I always had third eye chakra very powerful, but not balanced, because, as I said, I thought it was something wrong to know things or understand sometimes other people feelings, or sometimes it was hurting me, because if they were hurting, I would cry, I would be very emotional. So I also worked on that chakra, and over these years, since I met my twin flame, which was 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, is that I learned how to control the third eye chakra in a way that first of all, that I'm not afraid of my gifts. I use them to help people. A lot of things have been prevented that could have gone bad. People are grateful, and I always tell them, be grateful to the one who sends this information, not to me. And then also, if I'm an empath and I can feel somebody's pain, I no longer go and hide and cry for them, but I react and I help them, and at least by talking to them, or by letting them know that I'm there for them. And so, if you use it for good, for light, in the light, for the source of light, for Allah, for God, then you're on the right path. So I balanced that one, and definitely, I mean, this is something that Muslims understand. Salah, the prayer, the 5-time daily prayers, they definitely balance these chakras, not only because we touch the floor in submission to the Creator, we touch the floor with this area, but also because that area gets filled. When we are listening to the Quran, it heals the third eye chakra, etc., etc. Anyway, the heart chakra is number one place where your twin flame is. Well, but also heart chakra can be really disturbed at times. It can be really out of balance. It's the one that gets most uh, outer influence and has to be protected. It has to be. You have to learn the breathing techniques. You have to learn um, how to love unconditionally. It's all in heart chakra. Um, Again, Quran, in my case, Quran helps. Listening to the Quran, reciting the Quran also helps with the breathing. It helps with the heart chakra to stay balanced without harsh influences from the outside, which are on daily basis on all of us. We all know that. And then also zikr, which is another form of Islamic chanting. Some people do it in Islam, some don't. I prefer to do it not too much. I wish I could do it more, but I do it as much as I can. It also helps with the breathing, and some breathing techniques that I learned from some indigo uh, in light workers, and I'm grateful for everyone and for Allah for sending them into my life. And as I mentioned in the previous video, the yellow sunshine solar plexus chakra has to do with emotions, with feeling that you are appreciated, that someone loves you, that you can love people that for who they are, and they love you for who you are and be yourself. You can be yourself, you know. And then when that one is balanced, then it helps with our self-esteem. It helps with our personal self-esteem as who we are as a person. It helps with our um, with interaction with other people, with our ambition, because sometimes we feel we feel if we're not good enough, we're not going to try anything good enough. We will just stay mediocre or go in a state of losing, and feeling like losers. And so we have to, solar plexus chakra has to do a lot with loving yourself, to love yourself. And in my case, it opened up through a couple of people that really, one specific, and then a lot of other people. But the whole time I was aware of that. I was aware of what was going on and how these people are sent into my life to help with it, because we all help each other. Just like someone messed up your chakra, just like someone traumatized your inner being and your centers and made you messed up as you are today in on energy level, because everything comes from energy. You think it's mental, you think it's your heart that's, you know, broken. Basically, it's these energies that came from other people and messed you up, or, you know, it was a karmic debt you paid off, or whatever it was. Just like someone was there to hurt you or make these things blocked, someone comes in your life to unblock it and help you. You have to let them. You have to allow it to happen. You have to know that the help is sent to you from Allah, from the source. So, sacral chakra. I'm not going to go too much into details. I have tried. I had a dream. I really had a dream about that person 3 days before he reappeared in my life. Before that, he was just someone I knew, just someone out there. 3 days before he reappeared, before he got my number, texted me in a very polite way, of course. But before he showed up, I saw him in a dream. I shared that with someone else, and so I have a witness. Even if I didn't, it doesn't matter. I did have a guidance, and I asked for guidance the night before I prayed. And in Islam, we also have a guidance prayer. And I used all the information that I had so far, how to keep on going on, how to be, what's the next step to reunion with my twin flame. And in a dream, I will not go into details, it's personal, but it had to do with my twin flame coming. If that third person comes into my life, if I allow that person to come into my life first. Which is paradoxical, because you don't want someone else to come into your life if you want your twin flame to come into your life. But if that person that comes before is helping you to balance before the reunion, and without that balance you cannot go into reunion, you have to go with the flow. So the person showed up, but then my religious teaching, my belief system, everything would go down, would be flushed down in 1 second if I break all the rules. Because the rules are not made by me, they're not made by someone's husband. I don't have one, so nobody's stopping me. I've had other chances before and a lot of opportunities. I never broke that rule. So what's the difference now? What's going on? Okay, so what happened is, beyond explanation of how much, no matter how much I tried, and I really tried, and it always worked before, to push the person away. Usually it's enough just being who I am and representing what I represent fully with all my heart. That was usually enough But if I tell you the other, just to explain to you right now what I know, I didn't know at the moment, I will just skip and explain to you so that you know what this person is like. This person is not someone like my friend who doesn't know. I didn't share with her my guidance, what came to me 3 days before he showed up. So what she said to me is when she saw how much desire is coming from his being. We had dinner together. I mentioned in the previous video there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and I was just trying to not break his heart, not break his heart to invite him to, but it was breaking his heart sitting there with sharing the space and the time with all these people, which would be perfectly normal for him otherwise. So my friend who doesn't know him personally, which I cannot claim that I know him personally that much too, because we we were not like close friends, me and him, or anything like that. She said that I'm pointing out to an empty chair because uh, my friends and my soulmates are always, I always feel them around me because they're my heart. I can visualize them sometimes, just, because we were sitting at a restaurant, she was sitting next to me, and later she said, "He's a devil. He's a devil," and she's looking from the from from the Islamic point of view, but as any religion would say, if someone is their temptation, the devil, and I believe so too, that devil or negative forces can tempt us. But I knew that this was guidance, even though if it looked like that, it's as I explained before, it's like that story of Ibrahim, his dream to leave his baby, that long-awaited baby, and that young second wife in the desert without just some food, and then they were out of that soon. I mean, that's the highest form of cruelty, and there must have been some teachings and scriptures before that happened, but he didn't say, okay, this is a law, or this is a law, I cannot do, that's wrong. I mean, I'm sure even in that time people considered that to be something wrong, but he followed the guidance that came from above. He followed the dream that told him to do so. If he didn't, we wouldn't have the Hajj that people are going right now to a pilgrimage in holy Mecca. We wouldn't have Mecca. He wouldn't have discovered the ruins of Kaaba, which was built by Adam, first man, and then remodeled by Abraham and Ishmael and Isaac themselves. So when he left baby Ishmael and his second wife, but the one that gave him firstborn before Isaac was born, when he left them in the desert, he didn't know what was going to happen. It seemed wrong to him too. It seemed very wrong. But it seemed right because it was guidance from the source, from Allah. And it was right. It turned out to be right. So this is how I am. This is how I get guided. I know exactly what's in the Quran. I read it every day, almost. I cannot say, I'm a very honest person, I cannot say every day, because sometimes things happen, you gotta skip, but more than many people at my age. I find it source of comfort, knowledge, information, contemplation, peace, and everything else in between. So today, I'll just say what happened today. I was reading the Quran, not from the actual paper one, but I was reading from the phone. And the moment I was reading chapter Moon, by the way, Moon is right now new. I saw tonight new moon. It's called Zulhijjah in Islamic calendar. It's the start of the Hajj. It's the holy month of Hajj or pilgrimage in Mecca. In 10 days or so, we're going to have the Eid celebration. And so a lot of these light workers and twin flame workers and twin flames are talking about how this September was full of filled with a lot of energy updates and a lot of things. For example, there was a lunar eclipse. So, and this thing with my friend that showed up into my life before my twin flame happened during the lunar eclipse. I think it had powerful influence on all of the events. And solar eclipse was just on the 1st of September right now, and then new moon is coming up. It's not just any new moon, but for us Muslims it's a holy new moon. So that, and then we're gonna have a full moon in September, and the gate 9/9, the September 9th 9/9 is gate opening, and all of you Muslims who are watching and would say that I'm talking some new age propaganda or something, I have to say that today I was just reading, I was doing some dava actually on internet, and I was reading something for myself, and I went into chapter Moon, which is 54, chapter 54 in the Quran, and it says that as I was reading this about the gate of heaven, and it says like this. So we opened it's interesting because the number 11 is the number of twin flames, and it's chapter 54, the moon, Al-Qamar, and it's verse 11 in the Holy Quran. So verse 11 says, "So we opened the gates of heaven with water pouring forth." So when someone says, someone who's New Age, someone who's twin flame healer or twin flame or light worker, New Age people would say the portals are open on the 9/9 or on the 8/8. There was a lion's gate open, and some Muslims who do not know about this would say, "What are you talking about? This is some kind of New Age thing. What? That's not in Islam. We don't believe in that." But we actually have that in the Quran. It's in many places that there's gate in heaven, which is same as portal. It has the same meaning. It says here, "So we opened the gates of heaven with water pouring forth." And my confirmation was, I had my mother there, and I said, come on, mom, look at this." As I was reading this, and it was on my phone, and it was just like right there on the screen. I was sitting outside. It's September, and it's sunny day, and I was trying to get some sunshine. It was sunshine in the sky, and there was just one cloud, and at that moment the drops of rain was falling on me in my yard, and my mother. So then I said, "Come here, look at my phone. I'm reading that right now." So that's my confirmation. I don't need any judgment or someone to say you're just making that up. It's true. It's true. And then I went into the house because of the rain. Because I didn't want my phone, it's not waterproof, so I didn't want my phone to get wet. So I get inside, I sit on my couch right here, and I continue reading, and I noticed, before that, as I was reading, I wasn't paying attention that it's actually the chapter Al-Qamar, or the moon, and as I'm reading, my phone rings, and I don't recognize the number, so I pick up the phone. Hello? It's Cameroon there. Cameroon means in Arabic, it's very much used in Spanish-speaking countries and Mexico, but it comes actually from Spain at the time of Islamic Empire. It's Arabic for moonlight, and it's nickname of Prophet Muhammad. They used to call him Cameroon. So Al-Qamar is the moon, and Cameroon is the moonlight. And someone calls me at the moment when I was reading this, the chapter Moon, and it says it's Cameroon, or as I said, chapter Qamar, it's Cameroon there, wrong number. But it's not wrong, it's just synchronicity, it's just another confirmation that I'm on the right spot here, right on the spot, right on the path. So, let's just skip the details and say that I have my sacral chakra blocked out. I have had amazing experience that was very short. Okay, so there was another cut off on the video, and then I decided to stop recording altogether and not say a word anymore while I'm ahead of myself. But that wouldn't be me. And if I didn't go full way, full force on with my twin flame reunion, if I didn't believe in that fully, I wouldn't be doing any of these things. But I believe that twin flames are real. I believe they come from God, that we all came from God, and that is exactly what my religion teaches and what is beshirt in a Jewish religion. And I believe that's what real people with knowledge and understanding realize by now, that we come from from one soul split into two bodies. And why do we need to reunite at this time? Why is it important for twin flames to be together in the physical? I will explain later. One of the reasons why is it important to be together. It's not just for personal fun, which is also included, I hope so, but also look at how much struggle and how much trouble we have to be with our twin flames. It would be just easier to settle and be with someone else. So, and that brings the paradox of why in the right mind I would want to ever get involved with someone else. And besides, it makes it harder when I'm religious, and that goes against my religious principles. So here's the answer for my twin flame, for the unconditional love, because my twin flame went through the sort of similar thing, because he has an Asperger syndrome, so he has social trouble to socially interact, and he started dating a little bit a couple of years ago with, or talking and flirting with girls, and that was not as painful as I thought it would be for me. I wasn't jealous because, as he posted on his Twitter a couple of times, he just had to get it out of his system. He'd say that he's just practicing. I understood what he meant by that. He's just practicing, and he was just practicing for the right one. So he feels that he wasn't feeling ready enough in physical form or this and that. So I forgave him that, or in other words, I not paying attention to things like that, and that's unconditional love, because it's for the higher good. We need to reunite for higher good. I'm not joking about that. So when I felt this new person coming into my life for a reason, I fully accepted that. And as I told you in the previous video, I don't know what's going to happen next. And what happened is, as my friend said, she said, he may be a devil. He's tempting you. She doesn't know the details of my guidance, so I understand completely. I would say the same thing to her, probably. But this is also teaching us not to judge too quickly, right? Because what turns out to be, what I found out later, that the man that was given this situation to me to share this experience was keeping himself virgin for 27 years of his life. And very handsome, very, very good looking man, it wasn't probably easy to show off all the experience, all the girls and stuff. So that gives me another reason to believe that this was meant to be, because from the day we met, he respected me, he respected my user. He said that one of his sisters stopped wearing one, so he wanted to show her, and he said, I'm gonna call her right now and tell her, shame on you, how she can do it. He really respects me. So that's not the point that my friend was making. The thing is that what was sent into his being energetically, what he felt, was stronger than all of our beliefs, all of mind. What mind is telling us, just like with the twin flame, it's in the heart. So no matter what people tell you, in your heart it's your twin flame. You're connected at heart level and on soul level. And so this attraction, this sensual feeling, was stronger than this person. And for me, I didn't feel it as my personal, well, he's good looking. That's out of doubt. But it didn't feel like I could not, just reject the whole idea. But um, as an empath, I felt his energy, and I would feel through my sacral chakra, and I would feel even pain. It was so strong, it became painful. It was hitting my spine area. The whole spine area was like in pain from every day's uh, energy coming from this person. And every time I would feel that energy. 5 minutes later, he would text me with nothing but, "Can I see you? Can I see you? Can we get out? Can we get out? Can we be together for a moment just to see you, just to see you?" It was something unbelievable, unbelievably strong, and it never happened to me before that someone had so much like open. I cannot lie. I have to see you. We have to get together somehow or something. So I was avoiding that, really trying to change the subject, go out with friends, get together with friends. I don't date, so he knows that. But I was hoping that we would try to find the solution by the end of the week. Maybe my twin flame would show up. Maybe the whole process would be over. But it was not meant to be over because as I said before, my balance is not ready for the reunion. And mental and also, I'd say all these traumas from the past was not making me ready to come in front of my twin flame and be who I really am, and my true energy would not be flowing. I would still be, scared. And so this person was sent for a reason to release all that pent up energies and bad feelings from the past and feeling bad about myself. So at the end of the week, we finally meet, and then it wasn't something that I wanted. It wasn't also forced on me, but it was kind of spontaneous. He held my hand, and it felt amazing, amazing, amazingly strong that I did just a little bit before conversion. Never felt anything like that before. It was like whoosh. It was so strong, electrical power, like you were holding the electrical, uh, or some kind of energy source that was like just whoosh. And then it led to other things from that, and I'm just not gonna. I know people will judge until they go through the same process. I'm sure we all do that. I would do the same. My old self would do the same, not my new self. And I have changed for the better, I believe so, because I understand now the whole concept and why why God created our sensual feelings, why He created all these centers and chakras and everything. It's for the purpose. So I will just say that we had uh, a short but very important moment of energy reunion together. And before that, before I decided that, not that same meeting, but it happened a couple of days later. I decided to meet with him again, and before that, I had a visitation by my twin flame, astral visitation, and basically I was told to let him stay away, that he will stay away with his energy for a while, that he will stop visiting, to let this man's energy in first for the sacral chakra balancing, and then I will be fully, almost energetically ready for the big event, the big reunion. So I accepted that, and like moments later, my breathing was so heavy I thought I was gonna choke that, and then I finally felt the sacral chakra energy flowing in, and I knew it was that young man, and he was doing that energetically from his higher self, from his higher consciousness. And I checked with him, which happened, 4 days later. He admitted to me, because I confronted him. I said, that time at night, you, where were you? What did you do? Did you think of me? Did you have some crazy thoughts or something? And as it turns out to be, that he has an Asperger syndrome too, like my twin flame, which is another aspect that helped me. Like, I always wondered, how will the interaction, social interaction, communication between me and my twin flame go in future. I was so scared of that I would not be able to accept that these people talk everything as it is, as it's just like they have no filter, and they don't expect filter from anyone else, because they don't understand double meaning things. They're sort of like born to be honest, to be like straightforward. I choose to be honest and straightforward, and that's my choice, but for them it's by default. Okay, so I wouldn't even call it a syndrome, but that's what it's labeled with. So my twin flame is same, and I'm so grateful that this man turned out to be one too. I didn't know. I had some signs. He couldn't watch 3D movie because it would give him headache, because they have very strong sensory inputs. And then he didn't like the crowds, and he didn't like the place where he was working, where a lot of people were. He had to interact with a lot of people. But I just, I studied this, but sometimes they're kind of subtle. There's subtle signs, and so he's very open. He's non-filtered. He would say things straight to me, and I asked him, and he's labeled it as, he said, I had a bad dream. I apologize for everyone why I'm saying this, but that's what he told me, and I compared to the moments and the time when it happened, and for me it was energetic. It was it was amazing, but it was what we were feeling at the same time. After that, we met, and we actually had a moment of unconditional love ourselves, because we exchanged our views on our future, and we realized, he told me, he came out first actually, and he told me, I don't know, I cannot stop this what we have, what we feel, what's going on between us, but at the same time I have a different plan for future, because my family has someone in mind. They want to keep the tradition, the language, blah blah blah. Once a long time ago, I went through the same myself, and I just smiled and I said no problem, because I have future plan differently as well. But sometimes with some people we don't have future, but we do have present. So we decided to have the present moment, and then we became uh, aware that we have to part as friends. And so I just want to share that. I hope people will not judge too harshly, and I just have to say that the pure person like he is, and the purity of his of all these years that he kept himself pure is mind blowing. It's just like, and the beauty that he has, and the beauty of his energy, beauty of of the creation, how Allah created him, how beautiful he is. I didn't even realize until then, because I didn't want to realize. I didn't want to look too much. And then also, as you become private with a person and you discover their full beauty, it's kind of like this, the hijab thing. It's like so it's like a VIP version of the person when you discover more about them, and then you sort of fall in love with them for one day, and that was amazing, and it was so sensual and beautiful that it's something that I will never forget for the rest of my life, and it gave me such power in this feminine energy that I missed all this life, all this time, because of the past life and past traumas and things that happened in the past. And so I'm grateful, and I know we prayed together. We did we prayed together, we exchanged the gift, and we had witnessed someone witnessed the before our union, and then we decided to go to disunite afterwards. But it was meant to be like a um, one-time relationship or one-time union, should I say? And my next step can only be the communication level, which I'm working on right now, and then I feel close to my twin flame. I feel everything, everything has evened out, everything is leveled. I feel at peace. I'm surprised at this myself. I pray more now, and before we parted our ways, he promised me he would pray more often because he was praying, but because of his job schedule and everything, he was kind of a little bit getting loose on that. And I actually, we talked about it, and I told him you have to, implement prayer on every day and daily basis in your life. It will help you, and hopefully he will make whoever the girl, his family, or he chooses for himself, he will make her a very happy girl. I'm sure of that. So that was amazing experience that two people can just have honest. He's honest by default, and I was honest, and as I always am, and try to be. But the energy was not something that could be ignored anymore. Not something that could be locked down, contained. I couldn't pray anymore. It became too too powerful and too destructive as a force, because it's like a wind. It's with God. When God sends the wind, or when He sends the storm or tornado, and it washes everything away, and then it makes the new. It clears everything out. It's not something that can be ignored. People will not understand from the scriptural level, but people who know what I'm talking about and know about energy, and sometimes this unbelievable attraction will understand. And that's something will sound crazy to some people, not only from the scriptural point, but how, like, what about your twin? Well, what I realized through all this is that the twin is your final final frontier, your final destination, the reunion of the soul and the body. But on that journey, we are learning of unconditional love, and we are learning that we are all one. We are all one. We come from one source, and we spread. And so we all share love, just like we love our child or love that person or that person. Not every love is same. And so it's not a cheat. There's no such thing as cheating, or it all depends on the intention and the reasons. And now I will go. Sorry, the video is so long, but I will go now into the mission of Twin Flames, and why are we so important to reunite, and why is our community important to work together. As we watch on the news, and try not to watch news so much, please, because it gives you that influx of bad energy. Nothing you can do about it, even if it's end of the world. Um, is that people are fed with fear and feeling of despair, and everything's gonna go bad, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And that, through the law of attraction, is attracting more troubles and more wars and more fighting, and plus human feelings of hatred and revenge and all these bad feelings. Now, why are we important to spread love? Why are we important to think about good things, to appreciate God, to be grateful for what we have, and have attitude of gratitude and attract good things? And most importantly, twin flames can manifest. Okay, so I felt with this instance, with the sacral chakra, a huge amount of attractive energy can be created between two human beings. Unbelievable. It's nothing like dating, nothing like like kissing someone, just like making out. It's more, it's powerful, right? Imagine how powerful connection between two twin flames, the couple of twin flames becomes, and it's a creative force, and it can manifest things through that. So I wanted to just share something from the book that I'm reading right now, and it's because in recent years, many labs across the world have been studying the phenomena of group mental focus. Dean Radin, PhD, as director of the Consciousness Research Laboratory of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, has both conducted studies and gathered data from many other studies to show the effects of field consciousness. Events that have been measured vary in their topic of focus, location, and the numbers of people involved, but they show surprising evidence that something occurs when many individuals simultaneously focus on the same event. The point of these machines and experiments is not to indicate a specific outcome, but a change in randomness. In short, they show that thought alone, without any physical action affecting it, can create order out of chaos. Now, research in this area of field consciousness is new, but it's ongoing, and scientists are researching the theory that when many minds, pay attention to this, when many minds focus on a single topic, they result in a measurable effect. Experiments have focused on showing that normally random results and even physical effects can change when many people focus their minds on a single event. And so, this is certain scientists suggest that consciousness itself is a field, like gravity. The field of consciousness has certain properties, including a force comparable to that of gravity. It could be this force is similar to Jung's idea of the collective unconscious. So, once we have enough twin flames united, and once we have these powerful interactions with our twin flame, powerful moments with our twin flame, full, pure love, and together we become very powerful beings. I'm sorry, I got cut off again, so I'm going to just switch to a phone camera. So we become powerful together, and every twin flame connection is different and can manifest different things, because as individuals, every person can manifest. And in Islamic terms, that simply means what we call making a dua or supplication, and Allah granting that to us. Or in Christianity, you say, you seek and you ask and you shall receive. Believe and you will get what you ask for. So that's manifestation. But when twin flames unite, actually the power of energy is so strong that, let's say if two twin flames get together before they have intention to heal a third person, to heal someone of health issue, they can actually do that. And with practice, they can manifest larger things. And we need manifestation, and we need to get together, and not just twin flames, but as groups, and focus on solving some huge things in this world. And I've tried with my twin flame in astral projection that he did the visitation to focus on someone to get better, or to help someone with some problem, and I would get a call a few days later, say, this person, great news, So I know my twin flame, I don't have that constant communication with him to say, hey, have you had that night, some kind of feeling? It doesn't matter, it's our higher selves. But in the reunion, it becomes so much stronger. So let me give you an example. If two people, regular people, not saying that less important, just saying that two people, regular people, get together, they make a baby. That's all they can make. But when twin flames get together, they can make manifestation. Okay, as this book again says that, it says that we can actually come together and focus on something to make it happen. Okay, so thanks for watching. Thanks for watching me for the first time. I was so scared, so nervous. You could have noticed that, I'm sure. I was not really myself. I don't like camera. Camera doesn't like me. But that's another way of facing my fears and getting out of my comfort zone. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Love you all. Peace and light and love. And
Assalamu alaikum.